following contains highly classified information and it is within the property of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This tape is not meant for distribution. Any and all attempts to redistribute this footage without official permission or order will be met with severe criminal punishment.
This is the Eagle Union Emergency Public Warning System. We have interrupted normal programming to give you an urgent news bulletin regarding this global crisis caused by the Sirens. The following information may be vital for your safety. Please stand by. This is the Eagle Union Emergency Public Warning System. We have interrupted normal programming to give you an urgent news bulletin regarding this global crisis caused by the Sirens. The following information may be vital for your safety. Please stand by. This is the Eagle Union Emergency Public Warning. This is Emergency Bulletin Number 1. This bulletin contains urgent information from the Eagle Union government under the Roosevelt administration. This message pertains to the ongoing global emergency, and it contains vital information that you may need to listen carefully as this may save your life in the event of an actual global emergency spreading in your area. At approximately 11:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, military and naval forces of Sakura Empire, Vichya Dominion, Sardegna Empire, and Iron Blood launched numerous attacks on military installations and major cities along several countries and territories across the Eurasian continent. The following nations that were affected by these attacks are as follows: Dragon Emperor, United Kingdom, Iris Liber, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Switzerland, Austria, Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, Northern Parliament, and the Philippines. The motives for these unprovoked attacks, especially along the borders of these states, are unknown, but is believed to be the result of Eagle Union and the United Kingdom's actions in ceasing all economic ties with these three belligerent nations due to their suspected involvement with the Sirens, and extraterrestrial humanoid beings that have prowled the world's oceans since their sudden arrival on planet Earth around September 1928. As a result of these actions, the Eagle Union, along with the whole of Azur Lane, has declared war on the new militaristic faction now known as the Crimson Axis, which they had also declared war on Azur Lane on that same day. Here are the information about the following factions. The Crimson Axis is an international military and naval alliance that was secretly formed only 9 days before this initial attack on March 21, 1944, and it consists of the following nations: Sakura Empire, Iron Blood, Vichya Dominion, Romania, Serbia, Thailand, Sardegna Empire, Finland, Hungary, Ethiopian Empire, Kingdom of Egypt, the Sudanese Empire, Libya, and the Hashemite Kingdom of Iraq. This is the summary about Vichya Dominion. It is a partially recognized breakaway state that was seceded from what was formerly known as the Irish Orthodoxy, following their political subversion by Iron Blood, and the major coup d'etat by Axis-aligned Irish Templar Knights in January 1942, and had since fought against each other in a civil war between Iris Liber and the Vichya Dominion, up until the latter has joined the Axis, somewhere as of late August 1943. Since the creation of the Vichya Dominion, there have been numerous casualties on both the military personnel and civilians, up until 1943. Recent reports in 1944 have shown that the amount of war dead has been increased threefold. This conflict between the two sovereign entities may be considered a predecessor of this ongoing global war. The primary goals for the Crimson Axis, although previously unknown, are, according to recent intelligence reports, to crush or take over any territorial holdings, and to wipe out the entire Azur Lane alliance with the usage of Siren weaponry, augment modules and advanced technologies. This faction was formed as a result of both the Eagle Union and the United Kingdom's efforts to attempt to stem the illegal usage of Siren technologies for personal uses, and the shut-off of economical trade, leading to increased political tensions within the naval alliance between those who craved for power over peace, that ultimately pushed almost half of the alliance to secede from the alliance, and subsequently declare war on all of Azur Lane. The Azur Lane is a major international military and naval alliance that comprises the following nations: Eagle Union, United Kingdom, Iris Liber, Northern Parliament, Dragon Emperor, Philippines, Canada, the Spanish Empire, Kingdom of Norway, Turkey, Algeria, South Africa, India, Indonesia, Australia, and New Zealand. The Alliance's main purpose is to fight against the extraterrestrial threats of land or sea, and to liberate or crush any Siren-held territories, while promoting liberalism, democracy and world peace, in establishing diplomatic solutions and security. The Alliance membership used to include the aforementioned states that are currently aligned with the Crimson Axis, but has since left on their own volition in a short period of time, well in the start of 1942. This alliance was founded on July 11, 1938, by the four major powers, Eagle Union, United Kingdom, Iron Blood, and Sakura Empire. They were collectively known as Azur Big Four, and they were the alliance's main political driving force in big decision-making and military expertise, and they were responsible for the success of most of the anti-Siren operations. They, along with the Northern Parliament and Dragon Emperor, were regarded as the most powerful countries in the world, able to withstand the Siren threat, and are capable of projecting mighty military power, to be able to prevent the Sirens from completely taking over the planet. Both the Azur Lane and Crimson Axis, though they both have their own land-based military, and are all numbered up to hundreds of millions of personnel in total, they also have what they called shipgirls, a humanoid entity with female appearances that links their souls to numerous warships. Some of them are vintage that dates back from World War I era, up until the mid to late 1920s or 30s. These shipgirls are both capable in dealing with the Siren threat, as their life force originated from the advent of wisdom cubes, which was discovered around the early 1930s in the years following the Siren invasion, and that these cubes were then used on naval warships, as part of a secret experiment project, in a bid to gain a fighting chance against the Sirens. These shipgirls have the ability to feel emotions, self-awareness, and have the capability for social interaction, decision-making, intimacy, and to perform military combat like any normal human being. They also can summon riggings that resemble the old warships they are based off from, which they are used as a main armament to fight enemy naval threats. In addition, when in human form and on land without ship riggings, they have the option to carry small arms, such as M1 carbines, Browning automatic rifles, Iron Blood-produced MG-42 machine guns, or M1903 Springfield rifles. Since then, however, these shipgirls are now being modified or retrofitted in response to both Azur Lane and the Crimson Axis, declaring war on each other, with the possibility that these female entities will be facing off against their own kind, in what will become the bloodiest global conflict in history. However, according to military officials, these shipgirl entities will only be used for special naval operations, such as expedition runs, and for defense, though to such extent on whether they will be used in a real naval or land-based combat is unknown at this time, as any Siren operations up until the Crimson Axis's declaration of war are classified as state secrets. Algeria, a member state of the Azur Lane since 1938, is the only nation that is currently under Siren occupation. Algeria was first occupied by the Sirens since 1930, but was liberated 7 years later, and became a member of the Azur Lane the following year, until it was then reoccupied by the Sirens in 1942, after rising tensions and political infighting within the alliance about territory, power, and bureaucracy, that ultimately resulted in negligence. Politicians say that the fall of Algeria have resulted in increased distrust within the alliance, up to the point that almost half of the member states, who have their own goals for the world, have left the alliance and formed to create Crimson Axis. Here's the information on what to do in the event of an attack. Since the Crimson Axis's declaration of war against Azur Lane, the threat risks for an invasion in the Eagle Union by a foreign power at the time is currently low, but may rise as the war progresses. In the event that the Crimson Axis plan to invade the Eagle Union, the following actions must be practiced, and when the time comes, must be taken to ensure your safety and survival. First and foremost, do not panic. Panic is by no means a solution to all of their problems, and it is proven that this will make emergency situations far worse than it initially was, and impair your ability to rationally make decisions in the event of a real conflict on Union soil. Second, make sure that you stock up on plenty of essential supplies, such as food, water, medication, clothing, documents, birth certificates or identification cards, extra cash, any form of light source such as a flashlight or oil lamp, blankets, batteries, and a portable radio or television powered by battery. Should the Crimson Axis launch an attack against the Eagle Union mainland, residents are to shelter in place or head to an underground shelter such as a basement, or go to the centermost portion or an interior, windowless room in your house, if you do not have a basement. If you notice an enemy foreign soldier in your area, do not let your presence be known and do not let these enemy soldiers find you. If you have been spotted, it is advised that you comply with their orders given to you. Do not attempt to fight or resist these invaders unless you can do so with extreme risk. However, the Eagle Union government is stressing that this does not mean an actual attack is occurring. This is a precautionary measure, and there are no cause for panic. If there is an actual attack against the Eagle Union occurring, an attack warning siren will sound, and the alert message will show the code name of the specific emergency, and that extra precautions, such as public business, major road and transportation closures, and mandatory shelter-in-place orders, will take place should attack warning be issued. It is best that you continue to monitor local news television or radio, and tune to stations provided by the later broadcast, to receive the latest updates and information on this emergency situation. Unless you are told to evacuate, do not evacuate. The roads must remain open for military use. If you have any life-threatening emergencies, dial 911. Keep your phone lines open for emergency use. If you have a mobile gadget such as a cell phone or a tablet computer device, use your cellular or internet service to receive updates and information from there. Do not use them for non-essential use and keep your batteries charged. Residents in the Eagle Union will still be allowed to live a normal civilian life as usual, though there will be an increased military presence. A disaster preparedness drill will take place on a daily basis, starting tomorrow on March 28, 1944, at around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and citizens must practice these steps given out to increase your chances in saving your life. In addition, a Basic Selective Service Act has been activated by the Roosevelt administration, and a public draft is to be publicly conducted around the same time as the beginning of the weekly preparedness drills. Any reserve personnel, or members of the National Guard, who are currently not on deployment, are ordered to report for deployment immediately. Those who refuse to comply will either face life imprisonment or a death sentence. Once again, there is no actual attack occurring at the Eagle Union, although there is a possibility that such a scenario in which enemy forces invading Eagle Union mainland may exist. If there is an actual attack, an attack warning will be issued in the future broadcast, followed by the sound of an attack warning siren, and extra necessary precautions will be mentioned in this aforementioned warning message, and that these should be followed to ensure your safety and survival of yourself and the whole nation in the event of an actual conflict. This is Emergency Bulletin Number 2. This bulletin contains valuable information gathered by intelligence agencies within the Eagle Union government regarding the research and identity of the extraterrestrial humanoid creatures called the Sirens. This is the brief overview of the Sirens. The Siren types vary between mass-produced types to humanoid types. The Sirens all follow a futuristic theme, in which they hold their distinctive large black-colored extensions on their bodies, ranging from cannons to metal constructs or biological extensions, with the inclusion of tentacles or bladed claws. Their leadership structure of these extraterrestrial entities cannot be thoroughly identified at this time, after extensive investigations have been carried out, but it is likely that they are well organized given the size and troop strength of these creatures, therefore a communication network is suspected to be the possibility, and it must be tracked or investigated. Most Sirens have golden-colored eyes, white tangible, curly or flowing hair, and a freakish echoing female voice. Some of these types are capable of human interaction and speech with some degree of intelligence. These humanoid creatures have the capability to levitate around hundreds of meters in the air, to be able to travel across continents without much effort, and the ability to use cannons on their backs to fire laser beams, which causes massive damage. These mass-produced ships are produced by either a portal or by the humanoid Sirens, and they always attack in sheer numbers that can effectively deal tremendous damage against naval fleets and along the shorelines. Their purpose on the invasion of planet Earth is to use the oceans as their testing ground for what they call reenactments, a type of experiment meant to alter the course of history, in the form of handing out dangerous augmentation materials of Siren technology. We have believed that because of the Crimson Axis's declaration of war with the Azur Lane, the Sirens will have likely used the opportunity to tilt the outcomes of this global conflict in the favor of the Sirens, and possibly the Crimson Axis. These dark gray areas represent how much of the territory has been lost to the Sirens ever since their sudden arrival on planet Earth on September 9, 1928, up until the formation of Azur Lane. At its peak, almost a third of the African continent has been either wiped out of existence, or they were still occupied as testing grounds, as does several of the world's oceans, such as the majority of the Atlantic, Indian, and West Pacific Oceans, and in some parts of the Bering and Barents Seas, extending all the way up to both the Arctic and Antarctica. There are some reports that some of the areas, such as the one in Libya, who is the Crimson Axis member state, have allowed the Sirens to control some of their territory after a secret joint occupation agreement between the Libyan government and the Sirens, which suggests collusion with extraterrestrial humanoid beings as the Sirens, which could explain how they have advanced Siren technologies that would allow them to achieve superiority against Azur Lane's latest technological standards. This collusion is also an act of conspiracy to destroy humankind, and as such, this act constitutes a violation on human rights, and thus the need for a resolution to end the Siren occupation of planet Earth becomes paramount. The following is a list of new information regarding previously unknown elite-type Sirens, according to Eagle Union intelligence circles. Listen carefully. Information regarding these hostile, mysterious humanoid creatures may be vital in saving your life by recognizing who they are dealing with. Please stand by. Information regarding these Siren humanoid creatures may be vital for your safety and may save your life. Please stand by. Information regarding these Siren humanoid creatures may be vital for your safety and may save your life. Please stand by. Information regarding these Siren humanoid creatures may be vital for your safety and may save your life. Purifier. Purifier is an elite Siren battleship that is designed to clear out any rogue elements within their testing system, and she is known for her involvement in their attack against Western Europe on October 4, 1937. Purifier can be physically described with extensively long, white curly hair, golden eyes, and her huge metal construct equipment resembles a hammerhead shark larger than her entire body, with a pair of cannons on each of its fins. She is seen wearing her sailor top uniform extending up to her navel in black skin-tight shorts. She was last spotted on January 31, 1944, just off the coast of the Horn of Africa, or known as the Somali Peninsula. She has the capability to fire laser cannons at a distance similar to USS New Jersey's effective salvo firing ranges, and her plasma beams, both her anti-air guns and her deck guns, can cause utter destruction and deal damage against human military personnel, aerial fighter squadrons, or against mass hordes of mass-produced Azur Lane ships. Every plasma main gun attack can cause a 2-mile blast radius that leaves a 1-mile wide crater in any direct hit. Possibly her attacks have used antimatter technology within the plasma metal constructs, while her anti-air attacks can trigger explosive scattershot bullets, which greatly increases anti-air effectiveness against Eagle Union's best fighter planes. She is known to have a capability to make riggings for mass-produced Sirens and several humanoids, and there are intelligence reports that some of her riggings being produced are now on their hands of some of the Crimson Axis nations, with Sakura Empire and Iron Blood being a major importer of Siren riggings technology. Coastal states within the highest risk of a Siren invasion are as follows: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Connecticut, including in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia, and additionally the Canadian Dominion of Newfoundland. Residents residing in these areas within 20 miles of any shoreline must evacuate further inland. Do not shelter in place. Structures and underground shelters are not safe from Purifier's attacks, as they may not be durable enough to withstand her antimatter gun blasts. Compiler. Compiler is an elite Siren-type aircraft carrier that can be physically described as a short humanoid figure with bluish tint around her body. She has spider-like legs, 2 force field shields above her head, and 2 triple main gun cannons, one in each side of her metal gun construct, and aircraft carrier deck metal constructs in which she sits on top. She has medium neck-length wavy hair, and she has golden-colored eyes. This elite Siren-type carrier, according to intelligence, is shown to have a capability to create electromagnetic shockwaves to disable non-Siren-made ship riggings, and jam radio communications within a 150-mile radius, and is shown to create mysterious weather anomalies, such as generating an unusually thick, fast-growing mists on both land and sea, and unusual cold front Arctic storms, which allows her to alter the Earth's climate and weather pattern, and she could create blizzard or thunderstorms, and can control weather at her will. The sea mist is the same kind of mist that is believed to be responsible for most of the naval disappearances, and over hundreds or up to thousands of naval servicemen dead in the initial stages of the Siren invasion of our planet. If you see any unusual weather activity in or near your area, or near any shorelines, keep in mind that Compiler might be possibly alerting the Earth's weather nearby. Depending on what weather she suits for change, it is best important to keep yourself vigilant, and remember to take precautions and stay vigilant for any strange activity. There is currently no information whether she was actually seen in combat service with her usage of her weapon constructs in more than 15 years since the Sirens' arrival on planet Earth as of yet, but intelligence says that she was last spotted by Eagle Union recon planes on August 12, 1943, just over 127 miles west from Cape Verde. New information regarding the unidentified types of siren humanoid and mass-produced types will be broadcast in the next bulletin when new information is available. This message will repeat in the next 6 hours or until when new information is available. For more information, this can be found in our government database that is accessible to the public by an encrypted website at www.azl-govdatabase.com or by visiting at a government-issued data information center found throughout the rest of the Eagle Union mainland. Locations can be found on the website posted on the screen or in the next television broadcast. Thank you for listening to the Eagle Union's Emergency Public Warning System. This system has been in operation since 1942, designed to allow authorized officials within the Eagle Union federal government to broadcast emergency alerts and warning messages to the public via cable, satellite, or broadcast television, and both AM, FM, and satellite radio, in order to effectively notify the public of any life-threatening civil emergencies and weather alerts as fast as possible. The government appreciates all citizens for your attentiveness, cooperation, and vigilance during the time of any major emergency. We will now resume normal programming in a moment.